Hello everybody, I go by the name is Yasa Team Balls in the building. It is after 17 and yes, it is. What are we talking about today? Real quick. So what's the word of the day? We always say you always rise by lifting others. And today we have a special guest, trust me. They call him the baddest. Other people call him Alaji. But we call him the elders because there's so much wisdom in this place. Here with me I have the man himself, Mr. Tlow. He's in the building.
Mr. Osi, good to see you, man. It's been I don't even remember the last time I met you in the flesh.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's been
this year in the flesh.
I think 2 years with like 2 years.
I think last year I think we met. This year no.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
True. But you know, Mr. I'll call you elders. I'll forget about the way people know you for. Yeah, elders. Like the reason why I called you here today, because after 17 is not for wisdom, and we would love you just to drive us in what do you fall back on as a person? Because away from the music, away from what people know you as, but what do you fall back on? Like, what is your main goal? What's the wisdom behind, or the ways that drive you saying, okay, when I'm low, when I'm down, I always fall back on this?
So many things, man. Well, right now it's different because now, like, you know, like I'm a married man, so there's so much to look at.
Now I'm on fire.
Yeah, man. But reality check. There's so much that I do away from the music, you know. Like I just mentioned, I'm a father, I'm a parent, I'm a brother to a lot of sisters, you know. And I've got my own life as a sports guy as well. When I'm not doing music, I have basketball as well, which is something that I feel like even up to now, certain people don't understand, because I still see questions like, why do you play basketball? Why are you wasting time playing basketball? But I have been playing sport even more than I've been doing music, and this is something that I picked up very long time ago. I realized when others were going out there to drink and do other things, I spent all that time playing basketball, and it's a beautiful circle that got me attached to a lot of people, you know, that I'm always going to be grateful for, because even though people don't know, yes, I don't make money off basketball, but I have made a network of the basketball that makes me the income sometimes, you know, so it's a healthy segment of my life as well. And away from the sport, there's also like the music, like you mentioned. But when I'm not doing the music, I'm just being a human being, man. I'm living, I'm breathing, I'm going through the same pressures that everybody are going through, you know. I'm a man, I've got a lot of responsibilities. I'm coming from a big family, you know. I've got my mother, because Bali is late now, so I'm like the father, you understand? I'm that guy that everybody is calling, hey, Achani, Shan, so hey, I need to fix things. So there's so much going on away from just the life that a lot of people know, you know. So I'm basically just human.
What would you say is the best advice you've ever received from anyone in this life that drives you until today?
To just be me.
And how has it worked for you so far? Because nowadays, I can't even lie, it's hard to be yourself.
It's not really hard. Okay, maybe it is. If you figure it out, it's not, because at the end of the day, you see, we're living in a generation that's based so much on what's happening on social media, you know, something that you can't avoid. Even if you don't want to see certain things, when you just open Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you see things that you don't want to see. That on its own is pressure. So to just be myself is, even when I don't have, I'm okay. Yes, nala kumbo, but in shafwe. It's quite day. I mean, and it's crazy, you know. For us, it's even crazy, man. Yeah. Because if I walk a person now from my interview, panopa podcast, now from my pasela vina enda pa makas. Ugo fika bencha fikena po. Ali broken boys. Tuari mona enda pa makasa atare churong, guys. You know what I mean? So it's different. I think it's okay for an ordinary person, but you go tangira kumulika limelight.
I know this. Talking about the same thing, like because your work comes with fame, and fame means everywhere you go, people know you.
Of course.
And I've seen like many people handle fame in different ways. How would you say, in your own ways, how do you handle fame, and how would you encourage someone saying, if you get a chance to get famous one day, like these are the do's and these are the don'ts?
one important thing that I learned about being in the spheres of being known is you have to prepare and be ready when that time comes. One thing that has destroyed some of the artists that I will not mention, but I believe you know them, is they got famous when they were not ready for the fame. You understand? Because kula befintu fisa fia isa then wafilo kushiningisha na fisa. Mwae monate. Waika tenda na mesho tawa ikatapo. So tawishi befi akusitana shen. You start finding yourselves in offices of big people that you did not prepare your mind for, you know. So for me, I'm grateful because I went through a lot of mentorship from my producers. Rest in peace to Cream Dollar, you know. People like Vusmos, people like Salex. So even in my career, I wasn't just doing music. I had a lot of time spending with people that know the lifestyle. So they would tell me, but I see a lot of influencers and artists that get overexcited, you know. And one thing I can tell you is, regardless of who you become in life, you are still just an ordinary person. No, nothing special away from the music I do, isn't it? No one will care. Nobody. Yeah. Even people that are close to me, they don't see me as Tlow, you know. I'm just an ordinary person, you know. So I feel like that are some of the most important things that we need to remember. Like, we're humans. We're not really above anybody, you know.
True.
Yeah.
But who do you say, like, maybe has that feature in them that inspired you the most to even pursue this career or your life in that area? Like, who can you, any name or anybody?
Honestly speaking, I didn't get inspo from any artist to become an artist. I didn't even know I was going to become an artist. I was a basketball player. People started calling me Young T. Young T came from Young Tlow.
Oh.
But I didn't like the sound of it. So I changed it from Young Tlow to Tlow. But I found an abbreviation that stands for something. You know, when you're a rapper, you have to be creative.
Oh, by the way, you used to be a rapper.
Of course. I think every singer was, that's, you know, I mean, the whole aspect of being a good singer comes from being a rapper. Because when you're a rapper, you have to be creative. You need to know how to rhyme, how to put punchlines, you know. So, yeah, man, I didn't plan to be an artist. It just happened. God's way just pushed me into it, you know. And the moment I discovered that I was so good into it, then I started putting more time. And then in putting in more time, I realized I was actually good in this, and maybe it was a calling, and for sure. So I started chasing the dream, man. And that's why I'm here.
And for people who don't know, maybe other people just like, Tlow just rides along. People have no idea you have supported indirectly or directly so many people.
Yeah.
And like, for example, I'll give an example. I won't mention the typical name, but I'll say some members of Team Yesu, a certain group, you have actually helped people indirectly that people don't even know about right now. Would you say you being selfless comes from you being helped by somebody, or you just love doing it?
Both. It's in me, and also I learned it. There's so many people that have done so much for me that I didn't even have to pay for it. I've never paid for it. They did that because they wanted to see me get to my destination, you know, or at least closer to the destination. So seeing that, I think also started building me in a different way, where I felt if I'm able to help someone, why not, you know? And I'll keep doing that, just like other people keep doing that for me. Yeah.
Since it's after 17, it's about wisdom. I would love to tap some wisdom in this other aspect of life. Like, how did you reach a point of picking the right woman? Because you're famous.
The right woman.
Because you are famous.
Yeah.
Some wisdom in that area. Trust me, it's simple, but it's really hard. So maybe you just tap on wisdom in that area. Like, how?
You know, it looks easy when like you have it.
Yeah.
Now for somebody who hasn't found it, they're going through those struggles. But I'm grateful, you know. I'm grateful. Just like any other person, like I said, I also had my bad times when I was having those young loves. You meet someone and you want to be serious, and then they just do you bad. And then I met my wife. Yeah. I met my wife. Yeah, man. She came for a music video. I was shooting one of my first music videos, Alaj, and she came as a model. And yeah, my.
So the benefits in music. So the music is somewhere.
No, we should have an exo. Why sing it? Is music?
Yeah, true.
Hey. But I found love in hopeless places. Yeah. But you know, yeah, man. I met my fast forward 7 years building, fighting, building together, understanding each other, growing, and I did it, man. It's not easy, but yeah, God made it possible, man. It's been a long journey, but it's been beautiful, and I think we're to be perfect. And it's beautiful. It's amazing, man. I can't like. Okay, for me, I don't know. I'm not speaking for anybody, man.
Yeah, true.
I know someone out there is like, I don't want operation, but I don't believe in some of the theories, man. You run your race. You control your life. You choose who you want to be with, and I believe that I chose the right person, and that's why I'm happy, and I'll continue being happy. I'm not saying that people feel sometimes and understand, and I've accepted all those things, you know. I think the hardest part is sometimes we don't accept that sometimes ukabipa.
True.
So if you say I feel but there's nothing different from the way the relationship was and the way my marriage is. It's the same thing, bro.
True. So right upon this time, I would love our senior elders as well in the background. Any question you feel like we also need wisdom in this area? Which aspect of life would you feel like would like to tap on elders in the building right now?
I feel serious.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
Yes. The question is, how do you handle public criticism?
You really need to have a big heart, you know. One thing that you need to accept is, you know, as our lifestyle, like being in the limelight, people's opinions will always be there. I can't respond to what somebody I don't know is talking about. But I'll pick something. It's not all the time that people say bad things, you know. Okay, they'll say bad things, but maybe because of what they've seen, you understand? I'll give you a very practical example. I am a very fashionable. I've got a very different fashion sense that a lot of Zambians don't understand. Why? Because our culture doesn't align with what some of us are trying to chase. So, kulawati, wafala ataya, ewa poster, ewa sanga na 60% of the comments. Yeah. But I don't have time to No, I just don't have time to start educating people about things they don't understand. You get?
Yeah.
I'm a creator. Okay? To some people, like they say, I'm a role model. My job is to do what I have to do. And if it entices someone, they'll follow.
Sure.
It's not my job to go and start educating them about fashion. You understand? So you also need to understand that you are in a place where people have so many opinions, but your job is to close your ears and your eyes and just focus on the work. But if they're talking, then it means they are doing something that's seen out there. So there's a win there. Win-win.
If there's any other questions before we wrap it up, because after 17 is not meant to stay forever. It's only a very short time that you can grasp wisdom. Any other last question from you before we go to the path?
So looking at where you've reached, is there anything you think you haven't done? Is there anything you maybe plan to do better?
So many things. Honestly speaking, I feel like this is just when my career is like taking off, you know. All these years that I've been trying to figure out things and putting things in place, I feel like now is a time when a lot of people are waking up to what I'm doing. They are paying more attention, you know, and I'm just trying to fly now, because the making it that I've always had in my music career is making it on the level of when you start talking about biggest artists in Africa, they are putting your name there. When they talk about, I don't care about the rest of the world, but when the name just gets into that big artist in Africa, they put your name there. That's the direction that I've always seen myself in, because the music is already top notch.
Sure.
The artist caliber, the looks, the branding of the artist is already top notch. So the only thing that's remaining is for me to actually get there in reality, Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I feel like it's so answered.
Yeah.
So now we're really at a point whereby even if someone forgot everything we've talked about, what's the one thing would you call you after 17 that you would look in the camera and actually advise someone? Even if they forgot anything.
After 17?
Yeah.
With everything that I've been seeing going around in this world, I just want to say, you need to keep living and not surviving, It's so sad that sometimes you'll be talking to some people and they'll say, I'm surviving. You're not supposed to survive life. You're supposed to live. By all means, try to live and not survive. Nobody was born to survive. What are you surviving for? Life is an experience. You're not supposed to survive. You're supposed to live. You don't survive an experience. You live through the experience. So, keep living. No matter what you're going through, remember that now you're not a beola. I got my pressure. Maybe 10 than my pressure, but I got pressure. So, keep living. Holy Palav. God bless.
There you have it. It is after 17, and I go by the name is LC, and we out.